Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I see the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the side of the sea. I don't know, ever since I was young, like when I first started, thumbing through Poe,
yeah,
that one in particular was, it was very, very beautiful, but dreadful to hear how passionately he laid that out, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just really, out of all of them, I mean, The Raven is this great thing, and I know they were hysterical over it when it came out, but for some reason, I love it. It's just, that one in particular, for me, is, it goes a lot farther.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, he put heart and soul into the words that he had spoken in that poem.
Yeah, dig it.
Okay, it's plug time. We're gonna do some plugs, and
I am Twilight Cricket from the Okanus Network. The Okanus Network, audiobooks, poetry, talk, comedy, a creative baptism for every day.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Features the creative works of Richard Andrew Olkus. Lots of crazy channels on there. Check it out when you get a chance.
Nice, I dig.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug Joseph Vivaldi blog from Joseph Vivaldi brand from a network that's run on there, the Joseph Vivaldi Network, which features shows like the Joseph Vivaldi podcast, which can be found on Spreaker. It is the Joseph Vivaldi way of life.
Right on, dig it.
Okay, I'm gonna read poem, and for this next second, the middle of the podcast, I'm going to be focusing in on the 1500s. It was a pilgrim time. It was time where they were coming over to America to discover it.
The Renaissance and stuff.
The Renaissance, too. Very important period. And I'm going to focus on some writers from this time. And one writer was Sir Walter Raleigh, and the poem that he wrote was his pilgrimage.
Oh, wow. This is going to be great.
Give me my scallop's shell of quiet, my staff of faith to walk upon, my script of joy, immortal diet, my bottle of salvation, my gown of glory, hope's true gauge, and thus I'll take my pilgrimage. Blood must be my body's balm. No other balm will there be given. whilst my soul, like quiet Palmer, travelled towards the land of heaven, over the silver mountains, where spring the nectar fountains. There will I kiss the bowl of bliss, and drink mine everlasting fill upon every milken hill. My soul will be dry before, but after it will thirst no more.
Right on, man. That was the Sir Walter Raleigh, right? The one who used to hang out in the court of Elizabeth?
Yeah.
I dug that about Dulce et decorum est. I'm probably butchering whatever it is that it's trying to be by saying that. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep, many had lost their boots, but limping on, bloodshot, all went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, death even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling, floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the wide eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face, like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, dulce et decorum est pro patria mori. And that was Dulce et decorum est by the great Wilfred Owen. And there's just something about his recounting of that horrible trench he was in. They were so exhausted that they didn't even hear death coming. And one of them just couldn't get the mask on fast enough. You know? It's the horror of the First World War, where chemical weapons were widely used. And to have such a poetic journalism going on in that raw fire of trauma, you know, it can't help but reach you. So that's one of the reasons I had to dig that. That's been an inspiration for me, but I came on that pretty late. But
when news hits the most when you're down on the ground and it hits you.
Just the concept of the experience of being in war, and I don't know if he wrote it there or he wrote it later, but it clearly is haunting his dreams.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he even says so, and it's one of those poems that you can't really forget once you hear it, you know?
Yeah. It's ironic that this poem comes after that poem.
Oh?
But it's the conclusion by Sir Walter Raleigh.
Oh, cool. The last one was nice, so why not?
Yeah, so I'll read this.
Dig it.
Even such is time that takes in trust or youth or joys. Wait. Even such is time that takes in trust. Our youth, our joys, are all we have, and pays us, but with earth and dust. Who in the dark and silent grave, when we have wandered all our ways, shuts up the story of our days, but from this earth, this grave, this dust, my God shall raise me up, I trust.
Nice. I can dig it. Inspirational, you know.
Sounds inspirational. Sounds like a little. He had a little touch of Johnny Cash in there.
Johnny Cash, wow.
Yeah, it's like that. Even though it's from different time periods, but
you're saying Cash channeled him, dig it?
Yeah, it's like that rising up from the ground and saying, I will not be defeated from death.
Man, it's also like, you know, getting bailed out is basically what it is. I mean, that's what salvation is. You know, when the hero or the warrior or whatever it is we want to discuss, when they just can't do it anymore, then you have someone like a Buddha or a Jesus that comes along and, you know, gives you that spiritual jump, you know, that quickening, or translates you wholesale. You know what I mean?
I dig.
Yeah. Oh, it's a heck of a thing. So, what's the deal now, Wolfman?
I think okay, I'm gonna read one more poem to wrap it up, and it's gonna be in the 1500s, and what better way to end this poetry with a legend, a great of his time, William Shakespeare. This might not be his well-known ones, but I'm going to read it anyway. It's Blow, Blow, Thou Winter Wind by William Shakespeare. Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hi-ho, sing, hi-ho, unto the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hi-ho, the holly. This life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, that does not bite so nigh as benefits forgot. Though the water is warped, thy sting is not so sharp. As a friend remember not, hi-ho, sing, hi-ho, until the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hi-ho, the holly. This life is most jolly.